Yep, that's me. I'm probably overpaid. I know I overpaid for a few things in that antique store, but I had been eyeing a couple of pieces and I could just envision them. It doesn't matter where you buy from, y'all. There's brokenness, there's things that need to be updated, and if they've sat on the shelf way too long, and I'm just in the mood to make them over as I'm visiting that antique store, I'm like, I'm grabbing them. I can't help it. So first of all, there's one of these yummies, and I love to display vintage creamers on here. So when I untwisted it, I'm like, why does it have a twist tie? $12. So I'm like, why does it have a twist tie? And I'm like, oh, okay. It just has a twist tie. But in the way home, in the bag, it came apart. So ain't nobody want that. You don't want to sell something broken that somebody's going to have to fix. This is an easy fix. They make a wonderful product. You don't have to have a welder. No, usually crazy glue is just a temporary until it gets wet. It doesn't really hold it, especially metal on metal. I've been there, done that, tried that. So I'm going to use JB Weld. Works wonderful. You just have to be patient. So it takes a little while to set up. It's not as fast as my Bondo. Yeah, I could maybe use Bondo, but I've tried metal and metal Bondo before, and I can't tell you that it always works. So this is just a little fix. I just need a little JB Weld, and we'll get this glued into place. So these little things, I believe, would have came with cup sets. Some fun retro, but was just the single. So oh, which one was it? It's hiding now. So this is just, I just buy the little tubes of JB Weld. It's just a little equal parts thing. We don't need a lot. I'm going to paint it anyway. Though the orange is fun, I need to make it a little bit more general of a color. So it's just equal parts. That's all. Give or take a minute amount. It is a little smelly if you have a smell issue. Just mix it up. See what I said? It's going to be colored. I'm sure there's probably other colors of them. This is just, I buy the little tubes because I don't use it a ton, but it's nice to have it on hand if I need it. So just a little bit on there. And then I'm just going to stick it in there. I'm going to get a piece of tape to hold because it is pulling away just a little bit, and then I'll get a wet wipe and wipe off that excess. Painting this, so I'm not too worried. I just want it to stay in place. So hopefully by the end of the video, it'll be good and cured and I can paint it. This guy's a whole different story. I love that spice. And then so when I first saw this in the booth, way in the back of their booth, I'm like, oh, it's almost like there's a piece missing. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't look like it came apart. It looks like there's a piece missing. So that's weird. So let's take the drawers out since I have it upside down anyway. And I don't know if somebody, you noticed right here. So one of them, I don't know if that got dropped too. So how broken is this piece? So you all, let me try to see if I can get this tag off. It's such a cool spice. Okay, so we're going to set all those that don't need anything done over there. Other than, yeah, it's that part that needs to be, we need to fix that. So let's see what we can do, because it's not like you can clamp it and put it together because it's missing the wood. And then this is actually missing a piece too. So I'll have to, sorry guy, you'll have to come off. And I'll have to figure out how to replace, if I have a board thick enough. It's going to be one of those that, there we go. We got it off. Okay, so that's broken, that's broken. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got that off. So that's good. Let me sand it a little bit, see if I can get it flat. So I have this scrap little piece of wood. It's almost the same thickness. Almost just a tad. So I should be able to cut out a new piece, just tracing around that. I think I'm just going to use the Starbound glue. It's not a heavy piece. I am surprised I had a piece of wood that fit. I'm very surprised by that. Okay, I want to sand this, but I'm going to go ahead and let that glue dry a little bit more. I filled it in because it's not even. So we're just going to let that dry. Now I have a thought, whether this will work or not. Can I do a sliver? I really am not sure. I am not sure. Can I make a sliver? I don't know. Just something to fill in that gap. Okay, I'm going to go back to the bandsaw to cut that. Put my guard on because I just need to make a thin slice. And hopefully that's going to work. I think I have it a little too close. So these are magnets. So then I eyeball on my pencil mark. And then you just do these little twists. And then it stays in place. And let's see how that goes. Make it a thin slice. Or maybe it's smaller. I am not sure. That's terrible. Something's better than nothing. It's funny because it's a little bit smaller as we get down here. So let me see if I can sand a little bit of that off. Oh, looks like I still need, maybe there's glue or something there. I don't know, something's there that's stopping me. Okay, try again. No way. I am actually surprised myself. A filler's better than no filler at all, y'all. That's all I have to say. Oh my gosh, that worked out perfectly. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to achieve that or not, but I was able to. So I think we're going to do a little, I want to say Star Bond again. Oh, don't break on me, don't break on me. Uh-oh, I don't want it to break. It's a perfect fit, so I'm gonna leave it where it is. Just push down with some of the Star Bond. There we go. It didn't want to start at first. And then I'll probably Bondo not from the front because I'm not going to be able to get into those tight quarters very easily. But at least I can get some of the Star Bond on here. Hey, at least it's filled, right? Bond. So you can buy just the pack. Some are aerosols. This just happens to be a pump. And then there's a thick, medium, and a thin. The thin is very scary. It's very runny. You're going to wear it. So I prefer to have the thick to the medium. Sometimes if I bought the pack that has all three of them in it, right, and I'm desperate, I'll use the thin. But the thin is very runny. So I'm going to go ahead and get this sanded. Okay, could I cut that off? Although I have no way to really get into the inside, so I put some CA glue on the front of this to make that sure that I can try to make it flush, but at least the hole's filled in. I don't know, maybe these were for your teaspoons, but I'm going to see if I can do 1, 2, I wonder, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to do every other one. One, and make the hole bigger so you can fit some. And then I don't know if I'll weaken it too much and it won't fit a whole bunch of them in there, but I'm going to get a big bit and make these holes bigger so you can put some wooden spoons. Big drill bit. Oh, well, that didn't work, did it? Oh, that broke it right off. Okay, well, maybe I'll just cut this whole piece off. Maybe that piece will just come off and I don't have to worry about it. My thought process was good. Okay. We all have plans. Sometimes they don't work out. Not think that was going to break, but let me see if I can, because it's just glued on there. And this multi-tool has a wonderful tip to cut, but I don't know how to change the blade. I never asked Chris to show me how to do that. So here we go. We'll just see if we can Japanese saw. Maybe the bigger one. Told you, the bigger one. There we go. It may be a nail, so. Yep, there's the nail. Maybe I'll make it into a shelf. Now that I broke all those off, but see, there's a nail holding it in. And they must have done it from the inside. Oh, all our visions. Okay, so cut that off. And then as I'm sanding it, I'm like, I'm not going to get rid of all those bumps. It is a cute little shelf for minis. And I'm like, if that would take away all the character. I kind of like those because we're going to be painting it, you know. So I'm like, hey, but I am going to fill in the holes with some Bondo, just in case somebody. I mean, I would sit this on something. I wouldn't necessarily hang it up, but if they want to hang it up, they can come up with something themselves. So that's what I'm doing. A little bit of Bondo. Like crazy. I'm like, thought I was going to get away without doing Bondo, but once I was sanding it, I'm like, I need to Bondo those in. And then maybe a little bit here where that little imperfection is from where I had to chop the nail off that was holding it in. I could tell by my blade. I'm like, I'm hitting metal, so that's not. So they must have painted the paint on there when it was raw wood because it's soaked in and it's not going anywhere. That's okay. So I often wonder what happened to all the broken stuff. I used to be able to go into a Goodwill and find a whole bunch of broken stuff. I wonder if they throw it out now. I don't know. And show y'all, like, the broken stuff that's broken is not necessarily the stuff that I can fix, but so I don't know how it's all changed, but I'm glad that there are those who still see life in these pieces. Though I would have loved to give half price for a broken cubby like this. It's still pretty cool, but definitely way needy. Because you're not going to use it, you weren't going to really use it as is. And I watched it for a while in one of my local antique booths going, oh, I can't take it anymore. If that is there today, I am grabbing it. What I didn't check, does my drawer fit? Yeah. Okay, I thought that it would, but what if I was wrong? Yep, all good, fits everywhere. Okay, we'll just get it washed off. The nice thing about painting perfectly imperfect is the piece doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want it to be falling apart, that's for sure. I'm going to do a spray of shellac just to kind of even out, hopefully seal. There's red. You know, I'm fine with if the red comes through. I just want to make sure my paint's going to stick. Okay, so I'm going to be using Sweet Pickins milk paint. I have older piece, hoping for some age appropriate. I'm going to start off with denim. I just think it would be so beautiful in blue, but denim gets pretty dark. You don't need 2 cups. I don't know why I brought 2 cups. So I'm going to do 2 scoops of denim. And then I have Kent, which has that old timey blue in it, but I want it a little bit darker than that. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of that. And then to lighten it up, I'm going to do some flour sack and just 1 scoop of flour sack. This is a tablespoon. So let me see what color that mixes up to be. Oh yeah, I think I like that. I love making custom colors. So 2, 2, and 1. Stop grabbing that cup. So I'm going to go ahead and do my water, doing 1. Since I did 5, I'm going to do 4 and see what that mixes up like. And it does thicken as it's sitting, so I think 4 looks good. Now I'm just going to be using a fan brush. I'm a fan of fan brushes. And, just so I can get down into those areas without it building up too awful much. Very dry wood, soak that shellac right in. This guy's a little bit on the strange side because of the repairs I had to do. So I'm going to paint the repair, which is not, and then I'll figure out what to do with the inside, because I think I'll just make it a hot mess if I try to paint in the inside. I'm not going to paint inside because I don't want paint to build up, but I'm going to, this is another reason the fan brush with the long handle can get down in there. Things we do for our vision, but I just knew it could be saved. Watching it sit there just waiting for its next home. It's pretty. Okay, so now I need to sand it, and then we'll add some wax and see if we can bring out some of the details. Of course, you can't get it all with the power sander, but I try. I'm gonna go with aging. I like that blue color. So we're gonna seal the milk paint in with, oh, I think I made a good choice. I think I did. I didn't want it to be dark as like the denim can be. So if I did black, then it would darken it right up. So, and I did drip, and it did drip in the inside. Now I cannot get in there, and I don't want to like try to get it wet in there and cause any problems. So it's just a signature character mark. So definitely worth saving, even though I know I took the rooster off, but when I'm at sales, they're not selling for very much, if they even sell. They're usually like auctioneers trying to talk somebody into taking them. I don't know. Everything goes around in a trend. You know, they were trying to talk them into taking the 1990s best dressed goose stuff, and now that's trending with people. So you just never know. Yeah, I like that color. I did. I just painted the bottom of it and the inside. Might as well. I know you think, I do so much better with cubbies that are open. So I'm taking the door off, and I think I'm going to put something fancy, some little fun detail, but yep, we're taking the door off. Even if I put like, so you could see it, my open shelving always sells better. I can fill those holes in, I'm not worried. We'll say it has some of the nicest magnets I've ever seen. I don't know if those are savable or not, but for closing, it's like a little piece of metal here, and then that. I don't know if I could save them or not. You know, that's what we do. We're like, oh, I might need that. I'm not even sure how they're in here, so. I would have thought those were going to be my hardest. Holy cow. Now that does not want to come out. Well, that broke. Oh yeah, it's really deep. Yeah, look how deep that is. And it's screwed in, but they filled the screw in with some magnet thing, so I can't get to it. Hello, story of my life. I just have to prove to you that it's filled in with something, so I can't just unscrew it. There's not really much of a lip. Yeah, there's not much of a lip. There's no lip to grab onto it. Well, there you go. Bondo to the rescue after I destroy this poor little piece. Okay, Bondo to the rescue for the mess that I've caused. Yes, you can use it as a glue. Might as well. Whoops-a-daisy, right? A little aggressive there. Okay, I had to wait a little bit longer because that's a little bit thicker of Bondo. Now it has these little hangers on that have been stapled. I do think, because it is so long, to give somebody the option to hang it on the wall, I'm definitely going to do. Tried to sand as much as I could. We'll just get it wiped down with some Dawn dish soap, some hot water. No reason to paint the back, so I'll tape that off. I'll just work around, just because they're stapled, I'm not going to try to remove them. They're in perfect position. I'm going to go ahead and shellac this. We got raw wood now. I got the Bondo. So I use shellac as a primer. So it's just a clear coat, basically primer. Now that first coat of shellac is going to soak in, so you're going to need a second coat. So don't think I only ever do one coat. Raw wood, even out porosity, the way that the paint is absorbed into the wood, you need a couple coats. The backs, I'm going to do some paper, but to match the paper, I'm going to do this beautiful garden sage color. Getting it all stirred up from the bottom. This is DIY's Cottage Colors. They're a little bit runnier than the other DIY, but it has a top coat in it. This is actually one of my favorite colors. Now I do have some detail that I want to add. Not only am I going to do some paper on the back of this, but I also have some scalloped edges. I would like to really take it to that cottagey look, grandma core. but it's just easier to paint inside cubbies with it not being attached first. I'll have to paint that on its own. Just want to make sure I get that little lip that I left. You can buy these scallops off of Amazon. They're just a very thin wood, but that'll just give it a little bit of something, a little extra there. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, it took 3 coats of paint. So now I'm going to just sand it a little bit, and then I'm going to get my paper to do the inside, and then I can put my scallops on. I want to make sure that my paper is going to stick, so I sanded it just a little bit, and then I'm just going to take some rubbing alcohol because it dries fast, and go in there and make sure I got the sanding dust off and any residue. Make sure there's no wet paint in the corners. Okay, so how big are we? 7.5. Are we all 7.5? Because you can't trust that. 7.5, almost 7.5 by 8.5. A little over 8.5. It's very rolly, very rolly. I'd rather cut a little bit extra and have too much than not enough. So 8.5. Not easy to work with when it's rolly, is it? Anybody got any tricks for me? My pattern going to match? No, y'all, it is not. And I'm not going to try to make it match. I'm not going to drive myself crazy. Need to figure out who's the top. Probably shouldn't have left my backing on there, but I'm like, it's such a small piece. Come on, get in there. I'm going to get them in first, and then I'll go ahead and cut my excess off. Luckily, I don't have too much excess to cut off. This is my top because my hangers are right here. I'm not going to wax yet because I would like to run a bead of glue, but I need to see where do we end. Oh, we end up at 1. Yay, that's good. That's good. I wasn't sure where we would end up. So I'm going to flip that back over. Yeah, I painted both sides. One side's not as well painted as the other, but my OCD wants to do that. What do you think? Like one up, one down, even with this, even with that. And then since I have a little bit of that left, I know. Okay, I think I like that. That's my jam. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. I just have to go back and cut that one. It felt weird with one of them not having, like, you know, if you put them all down, one was spread. Yeah. Oh, darn overthinking anyway. I got the brad out, but sometimes the brads will go right through this little. I might have to go get my air compressor staple. so I want to sand those, make sure that they're flush. That's where I said I probably have some touch-up paint to do. Now I'm just going to take some air dry clay, cover up those little, where I had to put the little staples to hold it in place. I just didn't feel like glue was going to be enough. If I have to touch up paint, I might as well do a little bit over this. Now we're finally at the step where we can wax it, and I'm just doing the aging wax. Not terribly dark in it because this has got a top coat in it, so it's not going to change the color all that much. Just richen it up a little bit. Let's see, are we set up? Probably enough that I can spray paint this. I'm not going to try to sand any of that off. We're just going to give it a new color. I think I'm going to go with the neutral and do it black. I know it's a hard decision, but I'm just feeling like it needs to be black. Now it looks good from this side, but we'll have to flip it so we can see the underneath what didn't get painted. Okay, I told you, need to flip it. I want to seal that paint in using some weather defense to make sure that it's good and on there. So I don't know what your feelings are of somebody having a broken piece in their booth, whether it got broke while it was there, they bought it broke, put it in their booth. For somebody who likes the challenge of making things over, I look high and low, I look everywhere, so I am happy to find one. Of course, yeah, I would like it to be like free, wouldn't we all? But we all have to make money. That's just how it goes. So I hope I have inspired you. If you see a piece like that, pick it up, see what you can do. I know everybody's skill set is a little bit different, but hopefully I have inspired you to look at things in a new way. So thanks for watching. We will see you next time, and you can see what I'm up to. Bye.